I'm Misty. If you're new here, I'm from the suburban edge. It's that place between the country and the city where we can learn modern homesteading skills together. Part of homesteading is cooking your own food and saving money by using your resources wisely. Today I am making a recipe I developed, I don't know, about 5 years ago. And it was meant to be like refrigerator clean out, but it turned out to be a family favorite, just a huge hit. And now I make this recipe quite often. Today I'm making 2 of these, and one is for dinner tonight and one is for the freezer for later. That's, another way to save on money and eat more intentionally is to make your own fast food, so you're not running out and buying things that maybe aren't so good for you. I am really focusing on cooking more wholesome foods for us and more simple ingredients, and that means more steps. I have to make things from scratch, but lucky for me, I love to make things from scratch, and we're eating really well these days. Case in point, butter chicken casserole. If you like this kind of content, please hit that thumbs up button, hit the notification bell so you can be notified at all times when a new episode comes out, and please subscribe. I'd love for you to grow with me. You know what time it is? It's Big Pink Bowl time. I'm going to link the recipe for my butter chicken casserole down below, and I'm just going to build it for you. What you need is 2 cups of cooked shredded chicken or cooked cube chicken. It's great for leftover chicken. If you've ever seen my episode where I show you how to cook really, really juicy shredded chicken in your Instant Pot, I make up big bags of that and I pull it out of my freezer when I want to cook with chicken, and that's already done. But if you haven't seen it, I will link it down below. You will also need for one batch, you'll need a can of cream of celery soup. Now, for my friends who have celiac or are gluten-free, you can't use this. You'll have to come up with your own alternative. Sorry, I'm using it. You need 1 cup of chopped or thinly sliced carrot, 1 cup chopped or thinly sliced celery, and you need a cup of diced onion. I have these weird odds and ends, so I'm using those. You need a jar of butter chicken simmer sauce. I used to use the Kroger brand. It was perfect, but I just made my own. At the end, you can see how I did that. There's a video for that. But I have my own. I could eat it with a spoon. I have my own, and we're going to use that. And also, you will need 2 cups of cooked Spanish rice. Any rice will do, but Spanish rice really adds to it. If you want to know how I make my Spanish rice, you got to wait till the end, and I'll tell you how to get there. Let's just get started. I don't really feel like doing a lot of chopping, so I'm going to use the really finely grated. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. Not close enough? I'm going to use the really fine one, the really small holes. I'm going to chop all of it with this, what's this called? This square thingy with the choppy bits inside. I'm going to use this one. Yeah, you can use a knife. I don't want to. It's attacking me. That's so close to 2 cups, and I'm doubling. So you only need 1 cup if you're only making one. So I'm just putting that in. This is, not life or death. You get a few more onions in there. That's okay. Let's do the carrot. That's not going to work. We'll see if I can do it. Woo! Carrots are harder than onions. All right. Oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. It kind of made these little long slicey bits, and also it cleaned out all the onion out of the grids, which that's the hardest thing to do. When I use this, I do onion first, and then the harder stuff second. I should have probably done the celery second. I've never tried celery in here, so here we go. I'm going to save the leaves for my stock bag that's in the freezer. And we'll get to that one day. Just don't really need any stock right now, so it's not happening right now. lid fell off. This might be a little less than a cup, but let's see. Yeah, I probably need to do a couple more ribs of celery. Okay, I have my onions, my carrots, and my celery in the pink big bowl, the big pink bowl. I'm going to put this stuff aside for my freezer bag. All right, so next up would be 2 cups. This is for, I'm giving you the recipe for a single batch. 2 cups of that Spanish rice. So we have 1. I'm putting in 4, so there's 2 more. And by my count, that's 4, and I have some left over too. This recipe works great with canned chicken or rotisserie chicken from the grocery store. I am using my chicken that I made and then froze and then forgot to defrost. So it'll be a minute. I have to still keep it going and defrosting. Don't be like me, plan ahead. Or be like me and just cook a bunch of meals ahead so you don't have to plan ahead. I don't know which me I want you to be. All right, this is going back in the microwave. Okay, my people, my chicken finally defrosted. You need 2 cups. I'm putting in 4 because remember, we're making one for later. You'll need 1 1/3 cup milk or milk-like item. It really depends on, you. But I'm using milk. I made my own butter chicken sauce. You can use the canned kind. You'll need 2 cups. And a pint is how many cups? You remember this from when you were in school? 2 cups. Oh, I did it. Nope, I spoke too soon. 1 can cream of celery soup, or whatever cream of soup you got hanging around, but I like it with the celery. Here's how I do. I glop that out of there. Does that sound really appetizing? Sorry. Then you take your milk, pour it in your can like so. As much of it as you can. I should have poured it, well, doesn't matter. And I'm doubling, so I'm going to do it again. A can of milk is 1 1/3 cups. Before I do the swishing around, I'm going to put my 2 cups of butter chicken sauce in there. It's absolutely heavenly. This tastes so good. So I have my butter chicken in there. See, the jar isn't completely cleaned out, so I'm going to stir this around. Try to get as much out as I can. Then I'm going to dump it in my jar. Put the lid on. Shake it up. Because I worked hard on this. And I want all of it to come out of the jar. Then I'm going to pour it in my other jar. Jar number 2, if you're doubling. For those of you at home that might be doubling. And now pour it in. See? Mostly clean. Now we're just going to mix this mess up and pour it in a greased 9x13 baking dish. If it seems like it's a little too liquidy, you can add more Spanish rice. You want to make sure it's all stirred around. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more Spanish rice or any leftover rice just to help thicken it up a little bit. I was a little short on chicken, so that's how I'm going to fill up here. So what you're looking for is, it's going to be liquidy, but it's going to, the rice and everything's going to kind of thicken up, and you'll have like a nice, really butter chicken-y kind of gravy-y dish. So let me clean up, let me get it poured in pans, and I will give you the next steps. So I ended up putting in the rest of the Spanish rice because this was my first time making my own butter chicken sauce, and the stuff I buy at the store is really thick. So I would say that you need 1 full batch of Spanish rice, which ended up being more like 6 cups, maybe 5 cups. but any leftover rice will work. And also, I didn't have a full 4 cups of chicken. I had what I had. So sometimes you just have to make the best decision. I'm going to taste it. It's not been cooked in the oven, but the chicken is cooked and all the sauces are cooked. I'm just going to try to get like a flavor profile to see if it needs any salt or pepper, but I don't think it does. It's been a while since I've made this, and because I'm using my own homemade butter chicken sauce, I think I'm gonna marry it. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Wow. Okay, we gotta stop, making googie eyes at our goop and get our goop in the pans. One for tonight, one for the freezer. Because then you have some hope, something to look forward to. You do want to grease the sides of your bottom and sides of your pan. And yes, Tracy, I'm using avocado oil. So sorry. Okay, we're just going to divide this in half and put it in here. In the effort to not spill my delicious goop all over the kitchen, I'm going to use some sort of device that measures. Yeah, I am. Handy dandy 2-cup measurer. We'll just do it like that. Now, I would, if I was to cook this for dinner tonight, well, I am cooking it for dinner tonight, but normally I would top this with slices of tomato and green onions right before I cook it. I don't have any tomato, and the green onion I have is dehydrated, but I'm going to go out in the garden and forage my green onion plant that I never pull out of the pot, and probably will have some fresh green onion from there. But tomato is a no-go. It's just going to have to be okay. If I was, really desperate for some kind of topping, you could put crushed crackers or, any of your standard hot dish sort of toppings, crushed up potato chips or Fritos or whatever. I'm not doing that. I've done enough. But you could put this in smaller containers and have, many dishes. We like to cook it up and then just eat on it in the fridge. It's just a really good dinner. Everybody likes it, including my non-spice lover, because butter chicken is really not spicy. It's very flavorful, but not like blow your mouth off hot. And now I'm going to try to just eyeball the rest. So the one for the freezer, I wouldn't put tomatoes or green onions on until I was ready to cook it. I would thaw this out overnight in the fridge and then put my tomato and green onion topping on it. If you try this and you varied it, post something in the comments and let me know what you did differently. I'm always open to suggestions. This is now ready to go into the oven. And this will cook 35 minutes at 350 degrees. That's going to really set that soup with the dairy. Everything will kind of solidify. So this will get a little thicker. I hope you try it. Give it a shot. It's not very photogenic. It's pasty, like me. But it is also a hidden gem, like myself. It's pasty and wonderful at the same time. What are you going to do? Not all food is photogenic, but this is quite delicious, and I hope you give it a shot. In the words of Liam, label your things. Always label your things. It would be so nice, honey, if you stopped and got me a tomato for dinner. Any tomato, Roma's fine. Yeah, just one. Thanks. You're the bee's knees, mister. Okay, bye. Remember how I said I wasn't going to top my casserole with a tomato? Well, now, if he remembers, I will. Yay, Mark. I hope you hit that like button because I need you to. I also would like you to subscribe and be my friend. At least, my YouTube friend. And, we hit the notification bell, and then you'll know when I'm in town. You'll know when I'm knocking at your door and saying, hey, I made something pasty that you should try. I meant tasty. tasty. Thanks for stopping by the Suburban Edge. Bye.